are currently in a small, secure room beneath the Palace Theater. This room was designated as private and secure, and for the express use of Dr. Grant Carnation, who had made a very substantial donation to the Palace Theater for, among other reasons, to secure this room. In this room are a number of pieces of advanced technology. Looks like they were cobbled together from bits of other things. There are a couple of indoor exhaustless generators powering a number of essentially scientific reading machines that are getting a sense of barometric pressure and, etheric waves and all of these things. Then there's the painting itself. The very famous Balthazar van der Ast still life. Fruit on a cracked porcelain dish. It looks exactly as it did when it was in the Courier Museum, and exactly as it does if you look at a picture of it or buy a postcard of it, with the exception that there is now a hamster in the painting. A hamster wearing a collar, an Arcanotech collar, that looks very much like it was part of the original painting, even though you all know objectively that cannot possibly be true. Next to the painting, and hovering above an open, well, I shouldn't say hovering, kind of sitting, resting on top of a small metal cage, is probably the weirdest piece of technology in the room, which was cobbled together from Arcanotech components and various other third-party and aftermarket bits of tech that Mindy was able to surmise created some form of force projection. That's where we are right now. What would you all like to do?
The machine that I've been inspecting.
Yeah.
Does it have, and I'm only asking a question, does it have like a on-off switch or like a button?
2d6 plus sharp.
9. Zlobs.
Yeah. You're pretty sure you could turn this thing on one more time.
One more only?
Mm-hmm.
Zlobs, wait.
Yeah, what? Huh?
What are you doing?
Just reaching out with my finger towards the on-off button.
Why don't we wait on that? I think this thing can only be turned on one more time.
Oh, so we have to be.
Oh, just one more.
About
Okay.
it. No, Zlobs, no. Zlobs, I have some breakfast food.
Okay.
Here.
You have more?
I have more. Yeah.
Where'd you get more? Oh, from the taco truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do the other machines in the room do?
All of them appear to be very finely calibrated measurement tools that are meant to, kind of relay a variety of readings of the room. The atmospheric pressure, the humidity, various magical and kind of pseudo-magical, like the various like eddies of various, magical and life force kind of things. It's one of those situations where, like Darby, you probably recognize like one or two of the machines. Morgan, you probably recognize one or two. Mindy, you probably recognize like 3 or 4. Zlobs, you really want to press that button. And yeah, it's measuring things that are physical and atmospheric and magical. And all of that is being fed into into kind of a computer, and that computer, is currently off, but all the individual machines are still like giving readings.
I'm really invested in the painting right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put on some gloves that are on the table, and I just want to touch the hamster and just touch where it is on the painting and just see if anything happens.
So the painting is in a it's when the painting was displayed in the museum, it was under kind of UV glass and all of that, and atmospherically sealed and all. But here it's kind of suspended in a much simpler wooden frame, so you're able to actually touch the painting itself.
Oh, Darby can touch the painting.
Yeah, so you do
Carefully.
Carefully.
Darby's wearing gloves.
Yes, and Darby, the things you observe, you don't even need to roll for this, is the hamster is under kind of a thin like a very thin layer of like protective wax. Like the whole painting was covered in like a very thin, almost top coat by the artist. So the hamster is under that. You touch it, and the painting kind of bows and flexes within the frame. But yeah, if you didn't, if not for the sheer anachronism of a hamster wearing a collar that has a company that didn't exist until like 150 years after this painting was made, it would seem like it totally belongs.
This hamster is part of the painting.
Fine, Zlobs. You can touch the painting.
Zlobs? Did you take those gloves out of my pack?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do?
Well, if Darby can touch the painting with gloves, and be careful, I can touch the button if I'm careful with gloves.
I don't know if we should turn this machine on, Zlobs, right now, at this moment.
Why?
We don't know exactly what it's going to do.
Well, we'll find out what it does.
That's true, but what if it hurts one of us?
Oh, hey, okay. I already accidentally, allegedly created wax versions of us that may or may not have real feelings. What's the worst that can happen this time? I feel like we hit the ceiling. Everything below that, it's just...
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. What do you all think? Should we turn it on?
Let's do it together.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Wait, Jolene, you think this is a good idea?
I think this is a very bad idea.
Well, you're the captain. Should we not do it? I'm clearly getting swept up in this moment. I'm usually the voice of reason, but I'm feeling...
Boop!
Oh.
All right.
John builds us this beautiful world.
Yeah. I saw him sadly go over to his computer and click through his notes.
I did not press the button.
2d6, Zlobs.
2d6? Okay.
Clearly
12.
Zlobs pressed the button.
I rolled a 12.
Okay. Zlobs, what do you want to happen?
Scary question.
I want to rescue the hamster.
All right. Done.
What?
Zlobs, you press the button. When that happens, a number of the machines in the room, the other kind of like seismic and sonic and atmospheric sensors, kind of click on and start like feeding information. Like all of them have been kind of running in real time. Like if you were looking at like a seismograph or like a lie detector, like it's always, the line's always just kind of going. But you press and then like all the kind of various lights turn on every machine. That computer that was off turns back on.
Oh.
And, it starts reading out a bunch of things. Some of the numbers on the screen are reflected on a really small screen on the machine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like they're connecting via Bluetooth or something and syncing up. And then you just see extraction process 3, 2, 1. The machine kind of lets off this huge belch of smoke. There's like this like acrid, gross, like the sound of the sound and smell, very distinct smell of insulation melting.
Ugh.
And like just this thin waft of black smoke coming out of several different parts of the machine. Bright flash of light, dramatic change in pressure in the room. And all of a sudden, the hamster's back in the cage.
I retrieve the hamster.
Is the painting changed?
Not with a 12, it ain't. Zlobs has extracted the hamster from the painting.
Hey, I did it. What's the hamster's name?
Red Square.
Oh, Red Square. Oh, hello, Red Square.
The painting no longer has a hamster in it, though, right?
It does not.
No, I see it. That answered a lot of questions.
I wonder if the hamster has a memory of what happened to it. This is helpful.
2d6 plus weird minus 1 because this hamster is not not sentient and self-aware.
Oh, okay. So I get a plus 1? Did you?
Yeah. So I'm sorry, minus 1, but since your weird's plus 2.
Got it.
Wait, plus 3? Plus 3 weird?
Did you say plus 5? Okay. Okay, that is an easy 7. Very close.
Ooh, okay. I'll give you one of the 3. It's memories before the painting. It's memories in the painting. It's feelings right now.
Oh, that's a tough one. I think, well, okay. Let's go with memories in the painting. While it was in the painting.
You focus in on this hamster's mind, and it's not even. So when you're plumbing the mind of an angel, say, things are so complex that the more you do, like once you start pressing through the surface, you'd be driven to madness. Like your mind would be irreparably harmed. Below that, in terms of complexity, would be, an incredibly smart, self-aware human adult that knows you are plumbing their mind. That would be like a notch down. Mm-hmm. Then there'd be like regular humans. Then there'd be like really young humans.
Mm-hmm.
And then there would be like, entities that like summoned entities. And then even below that is this hamster.
Yeah.
So this is the least complicated mind you've ever explored. So
this
it's not
is
even
like what it's like. It's like everything in the hamster's mind, because it's so small and so simple that thoughts just like come and go so quickly you can't even catch them. It's like being on the highway and trying to read the signs that are going by, except for that every sign is just like a picture of a peanut.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so if like an angelic mind is like a 4-dimensional painting and a human mind is like a charcoal sketch and a young mind is like a crayon drawing, this hamster is literally just flashcards with colors on them. Like that's it. And
I have a little bit of practice because I read Zlobs' mind a lot, and his like also is so smart, but also bounces around very quickly like this. So I'm used to seeing things in flashes because he's such a quick thinker.
Right.
Good save.
Quality save. So this hamster's mind, you're trying to find the moment where it is there, because right now it's almost like you're like working backwards through this like deck of flashcards, and you try to get to the moment where the hamster was in the painting, because this hamster's been out of the painting for like a minute and there is nothing there. there is a distinct absence of memory. It is there is no memory of it being hungry or cold or confused or scared or sleepy or anything. Like you're trying to get a memory of what it was feeling, and it felt nothing. The hamster returning from the painting, you also can't really get a sense of. It's almost like you were trying to sift through all of that to get to the moment it was in the painting. It was as if for as long as it's been in the painting, it wasn't thinking of anything.
Like it wasn't even alive.
Like it wasn't even alive.
Well, I think Zlobs, did you go in the painting?
Did I go in? I don't think so.
No, the hamster just kind of reappeared in the cage.
Can I? That sounds great.
This machine is very, very badly damaged now.
Yeah, you can tell by the smoke.
We should probably cover up the painting if there's smoke.
Yeah.
And to grab some drapery and just
Darby, you are
painting.
able to appropriately secure the painting and prevent it from being damaged any more than it was having been removed from the frame to begin with.
So guys, we need to return this painting as is our mission, but also what about the other painting that the force projection kept looking at?
Well, maybe we should bring this painting back and make sure that one's still there.
And try to figure out what Dr. Chamberlain's doing.
Yeah. I mean, well, we got to find Dr. Chamberlain, but
Yeah.
Because even if we take it back, I think it's just going to get stolen again if we don't get to the bottom of what exactly happened in this room.
I'll let Xylophone know that we may be a little bit longer on our mission.
All right.
Carnation, yes. Chamberlain.
Carnation.
Okay. We're talking about, you want to figure out what Dr. Carnation is doing. And wait, hold on.
Yeah.
My mind is going like the speed of a hamster. How do we get this painting back to the museum in a secret way so we don't embarrass the museum?
We'll just keep it covered. I'll carry it.
Okay. If anyone asks, say it's a poster board about the powerhouse of the cell.
Oh, the mitochondria.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay. Who wants the hamster?
Perfect plan.
Darby?
I'll take the hamster.
There you go. His name is Red Square. I grabbed the painting.
Red Square.
I'll make a distraction.
Who do you want to distract?
So as we leave, is there anyone out in the hallway?
Gotcha. So yeah, Morgan, you kind of take the lead and you're looking around, and the Calloway and Prince show is still going on. So you're able to kind of walk your way under this old vaudeville theater, past the mannequins and the costumes and the trunks of props. And, you kind of like hold up your hand and wait, and, a custodian walks by. And then you kind of get up the side stairs back into the lobby, and there are a couple of people buying popcorn at the concession stand, but you hear just kind of a rolling boil of laughter from within the auditorium itself. So just to get out of the lobby without being noticed by anyone, just what do you want to roll for that?
I want to roll weird because I want to use I want to make projections and things to distract people so that they'll look a different direction.
Sure. 2d6 plus weird.
That's a 9.
Nice. So the partial success. It'll get you outside. That's the partial success. Not in the clear, just outside. But I want you to describe what this looks like.
Okay. So as we're walking by, I'm going to throw a little electric blaseball that when it hits the wall, it makes like a little goofy laughter. Like a little ghost.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens. It's just like blaseball hits the wall, and it's like this happy dancing whimsical ghost. A couple of the kids that are with one or two of their purple guardians kind of looks over and it's like, oh, it's another ghost. Like, and then there's, if you've ever seen, a parent wrangle more than one child in the lobby of a theater, that's what's going on. It's herding cats. And so you're able to kind of get outside, painting in hand, and you're in kind of the brisk Manchester evening air, and you're walking back to the taco truck that you have borrowed.
Mhm.
And that's when kind of the flashbulb goes off.
Oh no!
Oh, this guy.
No.
It
You
is
got to be telling me it's Bill.
It is Bill Williamson, junior investigative journalist for the Manchester Organizer.
Bill.
This taco truck isn't scheduled to be outside the Palace Theater until Sunday afternoons. And since it's here now, and about 24 police officers are clogging up the police radio with questions like, who am I and what am I doing in this field? I had a feeling that all of this was connected to you.
Bill, can you reach inside my vest pocket?
Can you please start by telling me what's going on?
We were brought here to look for this hamster. Meet Red Square.
And also no comment.
One of you roll 2d6 plus charm.
Oh no!
Oh. Okay.
One of us who spoke, or one of any of us?
Any of you at this
Yeah,
point.
I'll do it. Look, Bill, there are some things that you just have to understand. For instance, we didn't have to tell you about Red Square, but we're giving you this. And you just got to trust that us in the Blittle League faction, we know what we're doing. I rolled a 6.
Here's something that I would like all of you to know, because even though you're all Blittle Leaguers, you are just like me. Okay? We're the same age, and you are girded by purpose, and I am too. I am a part of the Fourth Estate, and the Fourth Estate is what makes this country amazing. Okay? Because we cannot just rely on people in positions of authority to say, trust us, things will be fine. It takes people like me questioning that authority to reveal the truth. That's what I'm doing here. The last time I tried, you threw a smoke grenade at me and ran away. I do not intend for that to happen again.
Bill, listen. Zlobs, hold that grenade.
I'm not gonna throw a grenade. I was reaching for a gummy worm.
Listen, Williamson. Can I talk to you off the record?
He turns off the tape recorder that he had on in his hand.
Listen, we're kids just like you. And I have the utmost respect for the press. I really do. And you're right that you do an important job. And I like that you're good at it. And I know that you're trying to get to the bottom of this, and we are too. And
the bottom of what?
And listen.
Oh, I'm bottom of
really
painting.
Can you tell me what's under there, please?
Oh yeah, no problem. It is a poster of the powerhouse of the cell, the mitochondria.
I don't think that's what's in there.
Bill, there's a...
You know why I think that?
Why?
It's because you've been lying to me constantly.
Bill, listen, you have to understand we're under a lot of pressure because a really great person's job is at stake, potentially.
Okay, and what person is that?
If we tell you, you might tell a bad story about her, Bill, and then, frankly, she doesn't need the flack from the community.
I'd rip off the curtain to show the painting.
Be careful.
Bill,
can you at least not print the story until after we've got this sorted out?
Yeah, we're returning this to the
Well, there's a
museum.
Bill,
happy
maybe we
ending?
could pitch you an angle. Like, really great courier museum leadership recovers stolen painting that no one could have predicted how this happened due to advanced science. And it's because of their leadership that this painting will sit in the Great Courier Museum in Manchester, all because of Blittle League bravery and as well as great museum leadership. I think that's a snappy title.
That's page 1, baby.
I missed the submission deadline for tonight, but this is going to be in the Sunday paper. I'll be calling the Courier Museum tomorrow for comment.
Okay, gotta tap into Bill's mind. Shoot. I really tried to have a nice off-the-record conversation with this kid.
What do you want to do?
Snip, snip.
I'm not gonna snip. I don't want to give a child amnesia. I think that why don't I just suggest the idea again? I just want to make sure he really heard me. That great museum leadership. I know that the Curry Museum really wanted to keep this a secret. I don't want them to be embarrassed, and I want them to think we did a good job. And so why don't I just suggest again that the scoop is great job to the museum. Here's what I'm going to do. In Bill's voice, as best as I can, inside his mind, he hears, boy, wow. Little League sure is doing a great job. And golly, so is the Courier Museum. We'll see if he can think it's his idea.
My God.
After I said it.
2d6 plus weird. I'm going to give you a -1 because this is something that you've already tried to convince him of. And another -1 because this kid's a heck of an investigative journalist and he knows you're a psychic.
Oh, he's like a dog with a bone. I should have maybe gone the mental route first, but here we are. This is the situation we're in, and I have rolled an 8. Not so bad.
All right, partial success.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you 2 things. Only one of them is true. The story that gets written is kind to Elodie Upton, or the story that is written is kind to you.
Serpico. Serpico.
This is impossible. This is the hardest choice I've made in this game. I think
You know what the right choice is.
I know what the right choice is, Morgan. I think the story is going to be good to Elodie Upton. I think that's fair because we haven't treated Bill very well.
No.
I think it's fair if he writes a bad story about us after we've treated him poorly.
Noted.
Is that the right choice?
Yes.
Bill thinks on it for a moment.
Can we cover this, please?
Yeah.
He takes out a notepad, jots down a few things, hits the record button, and he kind of looks at all of you one more time, turns and starts walking away from the Palace Theater while just speaking extemporaneously into his recorder.
Bye, Bill.
He doesn't look back and he doesn't wave.
Sorry about telling you to eat a worm.
He should have eaten a worm.
Yeah.
Y'all ready to go?
I
This is gonna
kind
be
of
great.
hope he still does eat a worm.
Yeah, I was gonna give him a worm from my pocket. It would have been funny.
I'm sorry, Zlobs.
It's fine.
That would have been.
I'm
good
holding a
moment.
priceless painting. Let's please. I'm getting anxious about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's hop in the food
Let's
truck.
get to the museum.
All right.
Back in the taco truck.
Back in the taco truck.
Okay. I hold the painting in one hand and drive with the other.
Yeah. You're holding this priceless piece of 17th century art and driving a borrowed taco truck through the Manchester evening towards the Courier Museum.
I've done harder.
You get back to the Courier Museum. There is more. There's more security here, you think, than you've observed in the past. There's kind of the employee parking lot. There are like a couple of cars here instead of like one car, and the door that you originally entered when you were here for the first time. There's like a light on over it. There's there's a camera. And you all kind of walk up to it and knock on the door. And even before you start knocking, the door swings open and it's one of the security guards, Stefano Listara, who was here a few days ago.
Guess what we have?
We
have something. Come in.
Okay.
So yeah, you kind of go in and walk into like the security office, and you open up the draped painting, and there it is. And Stefano Lestar gasps and immediately calls Elodie Upton, and Elodie is like roused from sleep and gets in her car and starts driving over.
It's like 8:30.
Yeah, it's been a long number of days for
That's
Elodie.
For Elodie.
Can I look in the security cam to see what the current status of the other painting is?
Yeah, it remains.
Okay. Yeah, we have some concern about that painting, actually.
Oh, this is the security guard. Well, we normally there's one staff on for evening security, and in this room, and then one that patrols the museum. There are currently now 4. So there's me and someone else in here, and then there's another person doing a tour, and then there's a 4th person that is currently in that same room. And he like pans the camera over, and sure enough, there is another security guard that is literally sitting in a chair with like a headlamp on, reading a book.
Mm-hmm. Can I do a security audit?
Sure. 2d6 plus sharp.
9.
9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What would you like to know?
I just want to get a sense of like how, like where the weak spots are. What is it accurate? Is it helpful? Just kind of get like a sense for the tactics of like the whole museum.
Yeah. So museums are very large, and the idea of having dozens and dozens of security guards kind of wandering around is an incredibly inefficient way to guard a museum. It's also incredibly expensive. So generally museums just have like multiple cameras in every room at multiple angles, maybe one person patrolling and one person watching the feeds. So the fact that there are double the people means that it's twice as secure. But at the same time, I mean, if someone, kicked down a door and like rushed in, like these people aren't armed or anything. So that's the story. If say the 4 of you wanted to break in here and collateral damage was not a concern of yours, you'd be able to break in here.
I already did.
You did. But yeah, so you're just kind of observing, and you just instinctually like, well, that I would take that painting. That painting's sort of in a blind spot. I could probably carry that sculpture out of here. And you're just kind of running down the list. Yeah, based on what you could tell with a 9, I'll give you this. Based on what you could tell, the fact of the matter is the route that the force projection took the first time is not any more covered than it was. Like, even with these extra, like, the door's been repaired, but even with the extra people wandering around, there is nothing that would stop someone from going through that door again and, like, getting into the room.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like we got to go to Dr. Carnation.
We already tried that.
Let me
That's
see if
true.
I can figure out where he is. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Do you have a computer that I could look at for a moment?
Sure. Yes. Come with me. And he kind of leads you over to like essentially a little terminal. And yeah, there's like a courier, like intranet site and a couple of other things. Then he like opens up a web browser for you.
Thank you. It's difficult for me to find somebody when I've never met them or heard them think before. So I'm going to try to, I'll give Dr. Carnation a quick Google image search and maybe a Google video search too. See if I can maybe look at him and hear his voice and get a little bit of a sense for kind of his mental fingerprint.
Do you want to smell a red square? Maybe he smells like it.
Yeah, I'll give the hamster a smell.
Yeah, you give the hamster a smell. I think still this is probably going to be a -2.
Oof.
Essentially it's, -1. Like if it's someone it's usually a flat roll. If it's someone you may have met once, it's -1. If it's someone you've never met before, -2 or -3. And this would be a -3 except for the hamster idea, which I like. So 2d6 plus weird, -2, and this is going to take some time. You get some videos of him. You do a Google. Actually, you kind of see a few different things here, including but not limited to his donation to the Palace Theater, the news of when he's appointed Chief Research Officer at Arcanotech. You look at like his home, like you end up finding like his listing in essentially the white pages.
Oh, well, we can take down his address at least.
Yep. And his wife's obituary. And then a number of videos of him.
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah, he lost his wife. Some years ago, about 10 years ago.
That's very sad. I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there a local office of spell slinging and eclipse management?
In Manchester, no. There's a research station somewhere north of here. You think it's in Vermont, maybe, like northern Vermont.
Okay.
If you need something, it could probably be delivered here in probably a couple of hours if you kind of ask the right people in the right way.
I thought they might have connections since the force projection dealt with magic, but I don't believe that would be the case if the station was far away.
No, unfortunately not. You could get something from them. It's just the delivery would be in a few hours.
Yeah.
Mindy, 2d6 plus weird, -2.
9.
All right. This takes some doing. So what I can do is this. Here's how it'll work, because this really is something of a reach. I'll give you any question How do I want to do it? Yeah, all right. I'll give you any investigate a mystery question aside from where did it go. So you have one question aside from where did it go. If you want that question, or if you want any other question, it will cost you 1 harm for every subsequent question.
Okay. No tune-in questions, right? Just investigate a mystery.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I'll give you a tune-in. Let's do two. Yeah, so we'll use the tune-in questions, except for where is the creature right now.
Right.
That would cost you 1 harm.
Right. Okay. It would cost me 1 harm?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait, I'll take a harm.
Got it.
Yeah, where is it?
Yeah, I think
take a harm.
I think it's the first harm this
Yeah.
this whole arc. Yeah.
You kind of close your eyes and you start listening for his voice. So you're almost trying to find him via echolocation, more or less. It's like you're plumbing people's minds for a memory of hearing him speak.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of throw your mind into the middle of the town and kind of start like dragging it back like you're raking leaves. And what you hear is his voice in a gas station attendant's mind. Like maybe 20 or 30 minutes ago, maybe a little longer. And it's the gas station that's closest to this museum. And then you just start, like, once you hear his voice, then somehow that helps you a little more, and you just are starting to look for him looking at himself in a mirror or something, like something to kind of connect it all. And you get closer and closer to the Courier Museum, and you feel like your heart starts beating, like you're sneaking up on someone. And your mind kind of settles outside, like right outside, like in a satellite parking lot. And you see a car sitting away from the streetlights. And you kind of push your mind into that car, and that's when you're knocked off your feet.
Nope.
So Mindy hits the deck.
No.
Mathers, you all right?
He's here.
He's here.
Dr. Carnation is at the museum.
Inside?
He's out in the parking lot.
Oh, let's go outside then.
Security guard?
Yes.
Did you hear that?
Did I hear? Oh, that what you just said? Yes. He hits a button, and the police are called.
Okay, let's go.
Are the
Boom. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see what state the police are in.
There's more than 12 police officers, I assume.
Yeah.
In Grand Carnation's car, he injects some kind of fluid into his arm.
Mm-hmm.
He presses a button on a machine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
He takes one last look at the picture of him and his wife. He closes his eyes. You all sprint outside through a side door. All of you and Jolene Wormwood all stand. You see the car in the distance. The side door opens. The driver's side door opens, and stepping/gliding out of it is a being about 6 feet tall, made of yellowish light. And it starts walking, skipping, gliding towards the museum.
Oh, I walk up to it. I'm like, excuse me, we assume you are or know Dr. Carnation. Wondering if you have a moment for us to talk with a couple of Little Leaguers. We're investigating a mystery here.
Are you standing in its way?
Yes.
Okay. 2d6 plus tough, please.
Tough. 5, 6.
All right. So this thing is not stopping. It's not like running, but it's moving at kind of a quick gliding walk, big kind of loping steps. It's almost like it's walking at like 3 miles an hour, yet it's somehow moving at 4 miles an hour. And, you know, you kind of stand there, so excuse me, how is it? And you realize it's not stopping. And so you just kind of instinctually like put your foot down and wait. And this thing kind of passes not through you, but it kind of strikes you just by walking, and you are thrown backwards because this thing is like crackling with energy.
Ow.
You take 2 harm. It is not stopped by your arm.
Hey,
Sir?
that's what my character does.
Yeah, this thing is it's not electricity per se, but it is pure force. It's like it's like you were a gong and got hit by a hammer.
I run by and I stick
walking.
I stick a Band-Aid on Zlobs' forehead as I run by him.
You do.
Sir, can you hear me? Dr. Carnation?
It's just kind of move, like you're able to like run alongside it, but it's just kind of moving towards the museum.
Can I read its mind?
2d6 plus weird.
6?
You take 2 harm.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, you kind of reach out and try to read its mind, and it's just all loud, throbbing, pulsating noise. Like you're trying to read like the sun's mind or something. Like it's just all heat and noise.
Do you feel like a gong?
Sorry, quick note. I seem to be unstable.
Oh, wait, how?
Wait. Is this how? Does this look right, John? Is this how it always is? I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
Unstable after 3?
Yeah, your 4th one makes you unstable, which means that partial successes may do things like cause you to pass it. I think
must
you
have
got
had
slightly
one.
harmed last week.
Yeah, I must have been harmed last week. Which in game was, an hour ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'd like to run to the car while the shenanigans with the force projection are happening.
Yes, you run to the car. And inside is a man, gray at the temples, wearing like comfortable clothes, and like his arms are like at his side, and his eyes are closed, and he's shaking and sweating.
Well, I'm gonna grab the ginger ale that's sitting in the console and pour it over his head to try to snap him out of whatever's happening.
All right, 2d6 plus cool.
8.
All right.
Canada Dry.
It's so good.
It's no Schweppes.
So your goal is to wake him up. Worst outcome, hard choice, or price to pay. All right. Here's the hard choice. He will wake up, but be like physically and mentally unstable, or this will cause the force projection to kind of stop its tracks and turn around. So essentially, yeah. So essentially, he stays asleep, but the force projection is now focusing on you instead of the museum. Or he does wake up, but he's going to need immediate medical assistance.
Yeah, I don't want to harm him right now, so he doesn't wake up and the projection starts coming this way.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you kind of splash ginger ale in his face, and like he grimaces, and the force projection kind of stops and kind of contorts. Like it's like it was walking like a marionette puppet being kind of glided. And now it's like a couple of the strings got twisted up, and now it kind of jerks, and it's like one of its arms kind of twists in on itself, and it kind of spins around, and it gets a little longer, and it starts kind of moving back towards you.
I understood kind of the chemistry of this force from the first episode of this arc, where I did a lot of different analysis.
Yeah.
Is it polar in nature? And why I ask that is, can I conjure an energy that would negate it?
Interesting. Well, the dice will tell us if you can. You certainly think you can.
Oh,
yeah.
Polar as okay. I thought you like it was polar seltzer. That's a polar.
Yeah. So
ginger ale.
You know, you're getting a sense of kind of what you think this is all about, and this person's kind of projecting life force into a sustained physical force, which is some pretty wild stuff. But you're pretty sure you can stop it. This is going to be a ritual magic roll. It's going to be 2d6 plus weird. Your goal is to essentially kind of negate it, which would dissipate it somehow. 2d6 plus weird. Here is what you need. Yeah, okay. Jolene Wormwood, like you essentially kind of, and it's good that Jolene Wormwood is here because you've been talking to her about this quite a bit. Jolene Wormwood's going to need to inject you with a bunch of chemicals right now. In order to allow you to essentially harmonize with the force projection. Essentially, Jolene wants to do with like a couple of needles in your arm what Dr. Carnation is doing with like a weird giant machine and a bunch of chemicals in his car. And Jolene, and you think you probably have it right.
Yeah. I think we, Jolene, we got to try.
All right. She kind of puts down her bag and like opens it up, and there's like this like little pouch with, you know, she opens it up, and in there's like this little vial, and it just says Morgan in masking tape on the side, and she like puts it into an injector, and it's like, okay, once you think you have the resonant frequency, just let me know, and I gotcha.
Do it now.
26 plus weird.
13.
Describe what this looks like.
As soon as the injection hits my body, I get really white, like I seen a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
You saw one earlier.
Yeah. And then I open my eyes, they're completely black. And then I reach out my hands, and it's black electricity.
Ooh.
And it envelops the force projection, almost like a cage. And it sort of shrinks and shrinks and shrinks over it.
And the thing kind of gets moved down, just crackling black electricity. You know, the like a couple of the street lights like explode in the distance. There's the sound of sirens, this big kind of puff of magical explosion. All of you feel like you just dropped 10,000 feet. Grand Carnation's car alarm goes off.
And then I pass out.
Yep.
That was cool.
I'll put a Band-Aid on Morgan.
You do.
Can I go to the car?
Yeah.
Has anything changed, or does it look the same? inside the car.
Grant Carnation's eyes are open.
I throw back the driver's seat so that he is like vertical.
Yeah, and he's just kind of laying there.
Dr. Carnation, are you okay?
No.
Oh no.
Oh,
Whatever you were doing, we stopped it. But we don't really know what you were doing besides trying to steal a painting. We're Blittle Leaguers, by the way.
we're from Boston.
I wake up and go over to the car.
We were in your office earlier.
Yeah.
We didn't see you.
Right.
I'm sorry about your wife. We saw on the Google screen earlier.
We did, however, save your hamster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Red Square.
You can have him later, I guess. I'll keep him warm for now. So you're covered in ginger ale.
You were able to get him out of the painting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Zlobs did it.
I pressed a button.
You don't look happy about that.
No, I'm not.
Do you maybe need some water or some Gatorade or?
I have some gummy worms.
Are the
Gummy
police
worms?
on their way?
We think so.
What do you need?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Hey, do you want to tell us why you stole a painting?
We love this museum.
The fine folks at your wonderful science establishment?
Arcanotech?
Yeah, thank you, Arcanotech.
I forgot too. It was on the
his
name tag.
his wife, Mindy.
Stop bringing up his wife. Why do you keep bringing up?
Morgan, you're so focused on his wife.
Yeah, for someone who is very tactful in his social settings, goodness, right now you just keep bringing up the worst thing you can bring up.
We're listening.
Yeah, sorry.
We were going to go to France and see the town. Walk over the bridge, even though it's a different bridge now. And we did not. That time was taken from us.
I see.
If I was to do what I wanted, no one would have even known. They would have found that painting in a field. Under glass. With just the slightest difference. No one would have even noticed me there.
They probably would have noticed the hamster in the other painting.
Morgan.
I'm sorry.
Maybe you could go to France in real life. And then you would have a memory of that place, thoughts of that place, instead of being trapped in a moment, unable to move forward.
Or help other people make moments.
That's what grief is. Being trapped in a moment.
I mean, I'm just a kid, but you can move past it. It's possible. It takes time. It's very hard. But you can escape your painting.
And maybe you can take it with you when you move on. Like a part of you. We're 11. So we hope that helps.
Do you,
Have you ever wanted to fly?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easier to just cry up there. So I can fly you away from everything happening here, at least for a little bit.
He nods.
Hurry, Darby, before the police get here.
Mindy, Morgan, huddle.
Yep.
Do you think if we can get like, yeah, I feel really bad about this. Do you think if we can get like information about, if he's connected to any way to what's her name?
Pound or Bachman?
Yeah, maybe we can like get a deal.
What kind of deal?
I don't know.
A deal with Fauner Bachman?
No, the opposite. Get him to talk about Fauner Bachman and then maybe protect him from the police or something. I
see.
Yeah.
I bet I can protect him from the police.
Oh no. Okay.
Darby, he asks, where do you want to take him?
The lake, like what is it? Like Massive Basic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just for a nice little flight over the lake.
Yeah, you kind of fly him over, and he's just kind of looking down at the water and not saying much. He's thin, like just as an adult, like there's not a lot to him right now. And you fly him, and he quietly, but you can still hear him over the wind, asks for you to fly him to his house.
Mm-hmm. I can do that.
You land in his driveway, and he looks at you. What team do you play for?
The Sunflowers.
Good luck this season.
Thank you. Dr. Carnation. She's here. Everywhere. That's how it works. If you want it to.
He looks you right in the eyes for a moment. His face doesn't betray much. But you surmise this is the first moment he realizes you are an actual angel. He opens up the front door to his house, nods to you, and closes it. All the lights in the museum are on. Elodie Upton is standing there with all of you as she remounts the still life in its appropriate spot.
Looks good.
Very unfortunate about that scientific accident,
Mhm.
but good that it's all back in its place.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll never quite understand what happened.
She and Ricochet Parsons, the defensive officer of Manchester, look at each other and then look at all of you. And Officer Parsons says, "And that's the story you're sticking to, huh?"
It's the powerhouse of the cell.
Yeah. I mean, well, there's no real way to know why science accidents happen in science, but that's all a part of the process. Success of returning the painting.
Oh, check the paper out on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stefano, do you want a hamster?
Yeah. The
No.
Thesaurus website is currently open on Bill Williamson's second
Oh
screen.
no. Oh no.
Multiple tabs.
Oh no.
He needs a lot of synonyms for treacherous,
No.
arrogant,
No.
big city, and reckless.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Epilogue 3.
Hey!
Can I do one too?
Is this our first threprologue?
Serpico.
Some weeks later, Supermax prison.
Oh no.
Visitation room. Guards, armor, laser rifles. 3-inch thick slab of mage glass.
Ooh, mage glass.
Bring in the prisoner. Fauner Bachman wearing a tan jumpsuit walks
Yeah.
and sits on
Good.
one side of the glass.
The prisoner side?
The prisoner side? Yeah.
She picks up the phone
Get Bachman.
and puts it to her ear. Not usual I get visitors. I'm not popular in the donor set these days. On the visitor side, Grand Carnation picks up the other phone. Your support of my organization has always been much appreciated. I need to ask you a favor.